Alright, so the topic of this video is going to be Cheek 8.7c, and it talks about where you need to know about ocean tides. Let's see, 8.7c right here. It says, relate the position of the moon, the sun, and their effect on ocean tides. So we're going to look at that one real quickly. Can you all see that? There you go. So 8.7c, ocean tides. Now remember, tides are the rise and fall of the water level along the shoreline. So, high tides obviously is where the water level is higher, and low tides are where the water level is lower. We have 2 high and 2 low tides along our coastline, the Gulf Coast shoreline, twice a day. So 2 highs, 2 lows, 2 times a day. Okay, so let's think about this. So what causes ocean tides? Tides are caused by the gravitational pull of the moon on the Earth's surface. So caused by gravitational pull of moon on Earth's surface. So literally, the moon is pulling the water away from the surface, resulting in a high tide. There are 2 tides that you need to be aware of. One is a spring tide, and the other one is a neap tide. Spring tides are the most impressive tides, and I'm drawing a little spring there. It's where the water really springs up. So you get the highest of high tides and the lowest of low. Alright, so if you can remember spring, the S, let it stand for a straight line. And the straight line has to do with the sun, the moon, and the earth. So let's look at it. So we have the sun here, and the earth here. What season is it in the northern hemisphere? We're tilted away. That must be northern hemisphere winter. There you go. And we're going to put the moon here, our new moon. And it also occurs during another moon phase, which would be, anybody know? You said full moon, that is correct. So, full moon. And here's where the straight line comes in. So, as you can see, the sun, the moon, and the earth are all in one straight line. Straight line for spring tides. Whereas a neap tide, if you're looking at a neap tide, they're very average tides. Actually, here the high is lower than the average. Lowest high tide. And here, let the N remind you of when you see sun, earth, and the moon, they are not straight. So they're not going to be in alignment. Whereas the spring tide happens during new and full moon. The neap tide happens during first and third quarter moon. So here's my sun. Here's my earth. Someone changed seasons on you. What season do I have now in the northern hemisphere? You said summer, that's right. Tilt of the North Pole is towards the sun. That is our summer. Alright, so first quarter moon, remember waxing on the light. Light is on the right. So the moon looks like this in the night sky, and to us, right hand side has light. The first quarter. Now look at it. It is not straight. Now we have the sun here and the moon here. So they're perpendicular, not straight line. Not a straight line for neat. Let's do the third quarter. And our earth. And a third quarter moon would be here. It's waning off the light, no light on the right. We would see the moon looking like this. And once again, this is a not straight line. And that's why this is also a neat tide. If you look at it, this time I drew kind of arrows. The sun's pulling on Earth's surface, the moon's pulling on Earth's surface. Well, because they're pulling at right angles from each other on Earth's surface, that's why they kind of don't pull very much water away, because they're not working together. Whereas if you look over here, the moon's pulling on the Earth's surface and the sun. They're working together, combining forces. That's why you pull a lot of water here away from the surface. So I'm going to show you. You get these big bulges on either side of the Earth. Because in this instance, the sun and the moon are pulling not just the water away from Earth, but they're kind of pulling the Earth a little bit away from its other side of water. That's why you get two bulges here. Here, on this one, you can tell that they're both pulling in opposite directions, so once again you get those two big bulges of water on either side pulled away from the Earth. So the sun is pulling, the moon is pulling the water away. The biggest effect on tides is still the moon, and the reason for that is gravity. Let's review that real quick. So gravity depends on two factors. So the greater the gravity is, the closer the objects. So greater gravity is with closer objects. And the larger masses. So gravity depends on an object's mass or weight and an object's distance, or the distance between the two objects. So even though the sun is way larger than the Earth, it's also way more distance than our moon. Our moon is only about a sixth the size of the Earth, but its close proximity is what helps pull that water away from the surface. Now remember, we also pull on the moon, right? We're larger than the moon. We pull on it too. We actually keep it in orbit with our gravitational force. All right, and that's it for ocean tides.